Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into something quite traumatic. It's a pivotal moment. The 1977 hijacking of Japan Airlines Flight 472. We're going to look at how this plane, just full of ordinary people really, became, well, pawns in this high-stakes ideological game.
Absolutely. And it's more than just the sheer terror at 30,000 feet. This whole incident forced Japan into a corner. It led to a really controversial decision. And ultimately, it reshaped their entire approach to security forever, really.
Okay, so set the scene for us. It's September 28th, 1977. JAL Flight 472, a DC-8, takes off from Mumbai, 156 people on board, and then bam, 5 armed individuals storm the plane, members of the Japanese Red Army, the JRA.
Yeah, exactly. And there are these harrowing accounts, like from the American actress Carol Wells, who was actually on her honeymoon. She recalled vividly a hijacker shoving a gun right in her mouth.
Horrifying, just instant terror.
And this wasn't some random act of violence. The JRA, they were deeply ideological. A far-left group, spun out of radical student movements in Japan, their goal to overthrow the Japanese government. And they had formed, didn't they? The 1972 Lod Airport massacre, for instance. Chillin' stuff.
So they saw airlines like JAL as symbols?
Totem symbols of the state, yeah. Targets.
Okay, so they seized the plane.
Yeah.
And they force it to fly to Dhaka.
Yeah.
In Bangladesh.
Right.
Now, was this a smart move? They seemed to think Bangladesh would be sympathetic, a sort of revolutionary ally?
Well, that turned out to be a huge miscalculation on their part, a critical one.
Why is that?
Because Bangladesh at that time was, frankly, unstable. It was under a military regime, really just focused on its own survival. They weren't looking to ally with the JRA.
So, not the welcome they expected.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And the hijacking itself became this massive, unprecedented media event there. The national TV station, BTV, went 24 hours covering it. Apparently, it even preempted popular shows. There's a great anecdote about a young Naeem Mohaimin missing the Zoo Gang because of the nonstop hijacking coverage. Shows you the scale.
Wow. Okay, so negotiations start. You've got the lead hijacker, known as Danke, talking with the Bangladesh Air Force chief, A.G. Mahmood. Tense stuff.
Incredibly tense. Strained at first, then it got really agitated. But then something completely unexpected happens.
Oh.
Right in the middle of these negotiations, an entirely separate military mutiny breaks out. On the airport grounds, factions within the Bangladesh Air Force started fighting each other. Mahmood, the negotiator, he almost got killed in this crossfire. It was chaos.
You're kidding. So the hijackers, who thought they were running the show?
Exactly. They could only sort of observe this mayhem unfolding around them. There's this famous quote attributed to one of them, basically saying to Mahmood, I understand you have some internal problems.
Unbelievable. Their drama was completely upstaged.
Utterly. By real, violent, unplanned chaos.
Okay, so back in Japan, the Prime Minister, Takeo Fukuda, he's watching all this unfold. The hijackers are threatening hostages, specifically an American banker.
John Gabriel, yes. The pressure on Fukuda was immense. What could he possibly do?
So October 1st, 1977, he makes the call.
He does. A historic one. Japan would meet the demands, and he frames it with this very famous statement, Inochi wa chiki yori omoi.
What he means.
The life of a single person outweighs the earth. A powerful statement.
So that meant paying the ransom.
Yes.
$6 million.
Yes, and releasing 6 imprisoned JRA members. This was termed an extra-legal measure, basically acting outside normal legal procedures. Hugely controversial. So controversial, in fact, that his own justice minister resigned immediately in protest.
Wow. Now, this is really different from how other countries were handling hijackings around that, right? Like Israel's Entebbe raid in 76. Very decisive, very hard line.
Very different. But you have to remember Japan's context. Their post-war constitution placed severe restrictions on the military, especially for overseas operations.
So a military rescue wasn't really feasible.
Not practically, no. They just didn't have the capability or the legal framework to launch that kind of operation abroad. So Fukuda's statement, while philosophical, also arguably framed a decision born out of strategic necessity, out of constraint, as this noble choice.
A pragmatic decision presented as a purely humanitarian one. Interesting. So the exchange happens.
It does. 118 hostages are freed right there in Dhaka. Then the plane flies on, more releases in Kuwait, Damascus. The final few are let go in Algiers.
But not without cost. Carol Wells, the actress, tragically suffered a miscarriage due to the extreme stress.
A terrible human cost.
Yeah.
And the hijackers, the released prisoners, they mostly vanish initially, though some key figures like the leader Osamu Maruoka and another hijacker, Jun Nishikawa, were eventually caught years later.
But not all of them.
No. And this is crucial. Several remain at large to this day. That includes hijackers Norio Sasaki and Kunio Bandu, and two of the released prisoners, Junzo Okudera and Ayako Dojuji, still wanted internationally.
Incredible. So what was the long-term impact in Japan? They must have felt powerless.
Absolutely. That feeling of powerlessness was palpable, and it led directly to action. Japan established its first counterterrorism unit, the Special Assault Team, or SAT.
Direct response. A major shift in their security thinking post-war.
Definitely. The JAL 472 hijacking was, well, a national moment of reckoning. It really forces you to grapple with difficult questions. Was Fukuda's doctrine life outweighs the earth? Was it courageous humanism? Or was it a dangerous capitulation, maybe setting a risky precedent?
And the bigger question, how does any nation, especially one like Japan committed to peace, balance that with the absolute need to protect its citizens when faced with threats like this?
Exactly. There are no easy answers.
A truly fascinating case study. That decision echoes even today.
It really does. A powerful reminder that these complex global challenges rarely, if ever, have simple solutions. You're always weighing terrible costs.
So thinking about all this, what's the one thing that really stands out to you from this deep dive into the JAL 472 hijacking?